A Mother's Promise by Dilly. Read by Annie Aldington. Chapter 1. Bow, East London, January 1888. Hetty stamped her feet in an attempt to bring them back to life. It was 5 o'clock on a bitterly cold winter's morning, and the queue of outworkers stretched from the gates of the match factory to the end of the street and far beyond. Women and girls, many of whom were little more than children, waited to collect the materials that they needed to take home in order to make matchboxes. The sleet-spiked torrential rain had eased to a fine drizzle, but the gutters were clogged with rotting straw and overflowing with evil-smelling water contaminated by horse dung. The feeble glow of the gaslights created monstrous shadows from the huddled shapes of the women as they crowded together in an effort to keep warm. Hetty shivered convulsively, cupping her hands over her mouth and blowing on them in a vain attempt to bring some feeling back to her frozen fingers. Her teeth were chattering like a pair of magpies, and she wrapped her sodden woolen shawl a little tighter around her thin shoulders. But for all the good it did her, she might as well not have bothered. A quick glance at her younger sister's pinched features and miserable expression made Hetty forget her own woes for a moment. She gave Jane's hand a squeeze. "It shouldn't be long now before they let us in, love." Jane hunched her shoulders and shuffled her feet. Her blue lips moved, but her answer was drowned by a fit of coughing from the woman standing behind her. The harsh, hacking sound echoed down the street, generating a chain reaction of coughs and sneezes amongst the previously silent queue. Hetty could feel the icy water seeping through the thin soles of her second-hand down-at-heel boots, but at least she had footwear. Others, less fortunate, had to watch their bare feet turning blue and then corpse-white as they waited for the factory gates to open. "Ouch!" Hetty let out a yelp, spinning round to see who had tugged at her hair, which she wore in a thick plait that reached down to her waist. "Oh, so it's you, Tom Crewe. I might have known it." Grinning mischievously, he dragged off his cloth cap, revealing a mop of curls, flattened and darkened by sweat, but glistening guinea gold in the gaslight. "Morning, Hetty." She scowled at him, but her lips twitched as she suppressed the desire to giggle. "Do that again and I'll have you." "Is that a promise, sweetheart?" Tom's teeth gleamed white in a face blackened with soot. His companion, also covered in grime, chuckled and nudged him in the ribs. "I'd have her sister given half a chance." Hetty's protective instincts were instantly roused, and she turned on him angrily. "You don't half fancy yourself, Nat. My sister ain't interested in the likes of you." "Shut up, Hetty. I don't need you to speak for me." Jane's pale cheeks flamed coral pink. "And there's no need to be crude, Nat," she added, slanting a coquettish look at him beneath her long dark eyelashes. "You wasn't so coy the last time we met," Nat said softly. Hetty opened her mouth to remind him that Jane was only just 16, but Tom was still fingering her braid, and he brushed it against his cheek. "Your hair's like black silk, Hetty, and your eyes are the colour of violets. I could eat you for me dinner." "Give over, Tom. You're embarrassing me." Hetty forgot about Nat as she tugged her hair free from Tom's grasp. "Get on home. You stink of the gasworks and you look like a sweeps boy." "Don't lower yourself to their level," Jane whispered. "It ain't seemly." Nat doffed his cap and bowed from the waist. "Hoity-toity, Miss Jane Huggins." "I don't like a public show," Jane said primly. "You're a real lady, Janey." Nat leaned towards her with a boss-eyed but charming smile. "Will I see you tonight afore I goes on me shift at the gasworks?" "Maybe. Maybe not." The woman standing directly in front of them turned her head and scowled at Jane. "Fine goings on, I must say. I've a good mind to tell your gran that you're carrying on with Nathaniel Smith."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?